If there's a play that could embrace the power of the theater, it's definitely Per Gynt. Per Gynt is not a very often done ballet, also because no music was especially designed for ballet. But then my guidance was Ibsen. And I started to, look into the possibility to bridge the two of them into a new interpretation, new vision. Because I would have eventually Grieg, but I wouldn't have Ibsen in the end. I wouldn't have his lines, but I would have Ibsen experience in total, I could say, with confidence. And who is Per Gynt? Of course, he's a troubled personality. He looks for himself in the wrong places, and actually he runs away from the true self during entire life. But nevertheless, Ibsen allows us to dream to him because he dares. He wants, to escape the narrowness of his society, and unfortunately, he doesn't really dream of a better world. But he's still a dreamer and a poet. There's something attractive, something very inspiring about this character. We feel for him. Ibsen plays him, in impossible situations almost, from very naturalistic or realistic moment in the village. Then he's being ignited into the fantastical world, the fantasy, then shortly into a romantic moment with Solveig. To embrace all that thing into a dance piece requires a lot of training. So the theater, as such, was the foundation of the piece. We were forced to behave more like actors than the ballet dancers acting. And it works very well because the dancers are very disciplined, and they can also discipline themselves in delivering something with their expression, not necessarily with the dancing. But that's simply theater. And it has been, I think, a very different experience for the dancers. Their response, it's really fantastic, and their engagement and curiosity, it's also fantastic. The opening chapter of the book, we find Per and Asse, his mother, having this argument. And he says, he starts to excuse himself and saying, I couldn't be there because I was hunting the great white deer. And that particular moment really caught my attention because it's such a impressive and epic description of this hunting. And then that deer, I said, well, an actor couldn't do that moment, but a ballet dancer, an incredible ballet dancer with incredible abilities could become the deer. So let's start the ballet with exactly this very moment, with this lie, which describes pretty much Per in its essence. The deer became a very important character, which is not, Grieg, Ibsen leaves it in the very, the opening part of the book. But then we decided, we could really develop this character. It became very interesting, an alter ego, guardian angel, which is a contrast, white great deer to the character of death. And I think it was a necessary solution that all these abstract characters in the book we united in one character, simply called the death.